Okay, on this video, I'm going to help you get started creating your Scratch project quiz. Remember, on this project, you're going to program exactly like I am. On your next project, you get to create your own programming, but I'm having you work through this with me in a specific way so that we can analyze the programming. But you will have an opportunity to be creative and do your own thing on your next project. So let's get started. You want to go to Scratch. Once you get logged in, you're going to hit Create. It will bring you to the project editor. And first thing we want to do is come over here in the title bar. We want to give it a name. Please call it whatever your last name is. And then quiz is fine. I'm going to put for video on mine so I can just keep track of what this was for, but you'll need just your last name and quiz. Okay, once you have that, then we are going to do the first couple of things that we need to do to start our project is to select a sprite to be our host of our quiz, and then we want to select the backdrop that we want. Okay. So when you start out, you will need to get rid of this cat sprite, so we're not going to use him. So you can either use this delete key, click on it, and then click on your sprite, or you can right-click and choose delete, and that will get rid of your sprites. What we want to do, you have 4 choices here, and you can choose what you want to do. If you choose this first choice, it'll choose a sprite from the library that is already made for you. If you were going to do that, I would probably use a person. So you can choose anybody here if you would like to be your sprite. Your second choice is to paint your own sprite. The third choice is to upload a sprite from a file. This can be any image that you have. You can bring it in and use it as your sprite. You can also take a picture with your Chromebook and use that as your sprite. I'm going to show you using a sprite from a file. I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to pull up pictures that I already have. I think I passed it. Images, there we go. I'm going to scroll over here until I find the picture that I want. I'm going to just use my one of my dogs. This is Pandy. I'm going to hit open, and as you can see, it's going to bring her picture in. What you'll notice is there's a lot of background stuff here, and I really just want her as my sprite. So what I'm going to do is go up here to where it says costumes, and I'm going to erase the part that I don't want to show up. And let's make this eraser bigger so that we can get this done faster. Okay. So you'll just go through and erase the background that you don't want on there. Because of my pointer program, let me turn my pointer program off. It is making it weird for me to erase. There we go. So now you can't see the little circle around my pointer, but that's okay. That was making it hard for me to erase. So I'm going to go over around here and I'm going to erase around her so that all you see is her as my host sprite. Now that I'm getting really close to her, I'm going to make it smaller so I can get a little bit more detailed. Okay, so you can figure this out, on your own. I don't want to make you sit here and watch me erase all this. But the closer you make it, the better it's going to look as far as your sprite for your host. So I think that I might do just a little more. Lots of times people like to do their own sprites. You're welcome to use the library one if you want to, but sometimes people want to do their own, and I get that. So not perfect, but that's okay. And when you're doing this on your own time, you can get it exactly the way that you want it. I'm going to pretend like that's good enough. Okay. So when I click over here, I now have, I don't have all that background showing. But she's really big on the stage. So I want to make it smaller. I'm going to go over here. This is your shrink icon. I'm going to click on that and then click on her and shrink her down. I just click away to turn that off. And now I can pick her up and move her where I want her on my stage. Okay. Remember, as you place sprites on your stage, if you come over here to the coding area, on the right, it's going to tell you where she's placed. She's at X 63 and Y negative 38. So now I'm ready to switch over and take care of my backdrop. You have similar choices here. You can choose a backdrop from their library. You can paint your own backdrop. You can upload a picture, and you can take a picture. This one I'll just paint. And again, this is up to you how you want to do it. So I'm going to get rid of this backdrop and only work on one. I'm going to fill it with a color, and I will just use that. And then maybe I'll put some shapes on there to make it interesting. How about that color? Oops, I forgot to tell it I wanted it full. The easier way to do that would have been to come down here and select this, and then I'm just gonna make some polka dots of different sizes. Again, you can spend as much time on this as you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to be what you want it to be. Okay. All right, that's good enough for this. And you can see as I was doing that it was showing up the little dots as I was doing it. I'll click back on scripts, and that's done. Okay, so this is video 1. You need to have a host sprite, and you need to have a backdrop. If you need to, watch video number 2.